ऑक्साइड, भारत का एकमात्र जंग रोधक सीमेंट।
President, Vice President, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, his cabinet colleagues and several prominent leaders paid tributes to the late Union Minister Gopinath Munde. Minister died following a road accident in Delhi. Reserve Bank of India keeps policy rates unchanged, slashes SLR by 0.5% from 23%, reiterates CPI inflation target of 8% by January 2015 and 6% by 2016. And markets end at a fresh closing high. Nifty closes above 7,400 levels. Sensex gains more than 150 points. Hello and welcome to Business Wrap on this tragic day for the country and for the Munde family. Rural Development Minister and senior BJP leader Gopinath Munde's body has been flown to Mumbai, following where it will be taken to Beed district in Maharashtra. Munde's cremation will take place tomorrow at his native place in Parle. Munde died this morning following a road accident in Delhi. 64-year-old Munde, who made his entry into the Union Cabinet for the first time, was on his way to the airport when his car, a SX4, was reportedly hit by a Tata Indica. The accident took place at Prithviraj Road, Tughlaq Road roundabout in the heart of the capital. The driver of the hitting car was arrested. Well, tributes have been pouring in. Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and several union ministers reached the BJP headquarters and paid tributes to the departed leader. Well, the Union Cabinet met today and offered its condolences over the death of Rural Development Minister Gopinath Munde following a road accident. The government has already decided that the national flag will be flown half-mast in Delhi and the capitals of states and union territories today as a mark of respect to the Union Minister. Well, let's take a look at the political journey of Gopinath Munde.
An activist of the Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad, the Union Minister, Gopinath Munde has set a benchmark. He is among the stalwarts in the political arena in the state of Maharashtra. Munde was first elected to the Maharashtra Assembly from Renapur constituency in Beed in 1980 and was again re-elected in 1990. Munde got involved in politics when he met Pramod Mahajan. A relative of the late Pramod Mahajan, Munde got involved in politics after meeting him. He took part in agitations against the state of emergency, but the turning point in his career was his joining the Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh. Munde was later made president of the Maharashtra unit of the BJP's youth wing, the Bharatiya Janata Yuva Morcha. He was also the leader of the opposition in the Maharashtra Legislative Assembly during 1992 and 1995. Gopinath Munde donned various roles including the post of Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra in 1995. He served as a member of the Maharashtra Legislative Assembly for 5 terms in 1980 to 1985 and 1990 to 2009. Munde entered the Lok Sabha in 2009 and was appointed BJP's deputy leader in the lower house. A highly influential leader, a game-changer for the BJP alliance to dislodge the Congress rule and form the first BJP alliance government in 1995, Munde was also the famous OBC face in Maharashtra politics. He was born on the 12th of December 1949. In the 16th Lok Sabha, Munde was inducted as a cabinet minister in the Narendra Modi government as Minister for Rural Development, Panchayati Raj, Drinking Water and Sanitation. Bureau Report, DD News.
Well, a sad day for the country. Meanwhile, committed to keep inflation under check, the Reserve Bank Governor Raghuram Rajan today left key rates unchanged and unlocked about 40,000 crore rupees of funds by reducing the amount of deposits banks are required to park in government securities. The repo rate at which the RBI lends to the bank has been retained at 8%, while the statutory liquidity ratio for banks has been cut by 0.5% to 22.5% with effect from June the 14th. The cash reserve ratio for the bank has been kept unchanged at 4%. Rajan, who has increased the repo rate thrice since September, said no more tightening would be warranted if the economy stays on a deflationary course of process. He added that the Reserve Bank may also consider a cut if the deflation process is faster than anticipated. Rajan reiterated that RBI's commitment to its target of getting CPI inflation down to 8% by January 2015 and 6% by the year after. On growth, Rajan maintained that RBI's median estimate of GDP expansion coming in at 5.5% for this financial year. Well, meanwhile, the Reserve Bank of India also reduced the availability of the funds under the Export Credit Refinance or ECR window from 50% of export credit outstanding to 32% with immediate effect. To compensate for the reduction in liquidity under the scheme, the Reserve Bank or the Central Bank introduced a special term repo facility of 0.25% of net demand and time liabilities. Meanwhile, the industry also reacted on RBI's policy action. Industry body FICCI said that it feels an accommodative stance could have given better encouragement to investments. It further added that after this policy, their hopes are singularly hinged on the forthcoming union budget for reviving growth. CI welcomed the central bank's decision to reduce SLR by 50 basis points, stating that the policy announced has shifted the spotlight back on growth while restraining inflationary pressures in the economy. It added that reduction in SLR is a clear message from the Reserve Bank that growth is priority with Reserve Bank and would help availability of capital. But the FIO, the Federation of Indian Export Organization, commenting on the bi-monthly monetary policy statement of Reserve Bank, the head Rafiq Ahmed said that he is not so much happy. He actually said that reduction in the export credit refinance or ECR from 50% to 32% will affect both the availability and the cost of credit, which will be detrimental to the competitiveness of Indian exports. Meanwhile, let's check out how the markets reacted. The BSE Sensex rose to a record closing on Tuesday as metal firms such as Tata Steel surged on improving China's factory and services data. The market sentiment was boosted by Reserve Bank's policy announcement. The central bank kept rates on hold and toned down its inflation rhetoric. BSE Sensex closed 173 points up at 24,859 levels, while NSE Nifty closed 53 points up at 7,416 levels. Metal stocks rallied, however, some of the FMCG, banking, IT and pharma stocks remained subdued. Gainers on the chart were Tata Steel, SSLT, Coal India, ONGC and BHEL, which were up by between 7 to 4%. Losers on the chart were Dr. Reddy's Lab, GAIL India, Hindustan Unilever, ITC and Wipro, which were down by between 3 to 1%. The market breadth indicating the overall health of the market was down. The Indian stocks edged higher for the second day in a row today. Well, on to global market action. European shares edged lower on Tuesday ahead of some key macroeconomic data from Europe that can influence the highly anticipated European Central Bank meeting later this week. Key benchmark indices in UK, Germany and France were off by between 0.09% to 0.3%. Expectations are that the European Central Bank will announce new stimulus measures when the Governing Council of the ECB holds a monthly meeting on Euro area interest rates on Thursday, that is 5th June 2014. On to Asian market action. Asian stocks edged higher on Tuesday as concerns eased on a slowdown in the Chinese economy, the world's second largest economy. Key benchmark indices in Indonesia, South Korea, Japan, Hong Kong and Taiwan were up by between 0.33% to 0.91%. However, key benchmark indices in China, Singapore were down by between 0.04% to 0.022%. Well, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi is likely to hold a meeting of all secretaries to set the priorities for the new government in New Delhi today. This will be the first time when the Prime Minister will meet secretaries without their respective ministers. Official sources said that the Prime Minister may list out his expectations and then ask secretaries to detail their action plan. Secretaries are also likely to list out pending issues besides their future plans. The Prime Minister has already asked his ministers to prepare a 100-day agenda for their departments. Well, time for a short break. More after this break.
अरे हरकू वाह, बीज, कीटनाशक और आज खाद भी। अरे इतना खर्चा कहाँ से?
अरे खर्च की चिंता किसे है? मेरे पास है ये किसान क्रेडिट कार्ड।
कार्ड?
अरे बैंकों द्वारा जारी इस कार्ड से किसान उसकी सीमा तक की रकम कभी भी बैंक से निकलवा सकता है और खेती बाड़ी की सामग्री कभी भी खरीद सकता है।
तो हरकू भैया एक कार्ड मेरे लिए भी।
किसान क्रेडिट कार्ड के लिए नजदीकी बैंक से संपर्क करें और पाएं ढेर सारे लाभ।
Welcome back. Well, the rupee closing figures are out. Rupee ended lower at 59.38 per dollar versus Monday's closing of 59.15. Well, some good news for the Indian textile industry. India has become the second largest textile exporter after China. India overtook Germany and Italy to emerge as the world's second largest textile exporter. But India still lags behind China, whose exports are nearly 7 times higher. Currently, India's textile export to the world is around $40 billion.
Textile includes everything from fiber and yarn to fabric, made-ups and ready-made garments made of cotton, silk, wool and synthetic yarn. Data released by the Apparel Export Promotion Council, the industry body for the garment exporters, showed that India's textile exports were estimated at 40 billion in 2013. India now stands at second position, beating its competitors like Italy, Germany and Bangladesh, with China still retaining the top position. India's share in global textiles has increased by 17.5 in the year 2013 compared to the previous year. Currently, India's textile export to the world is 40.2 billion. This growth is phenomenal. This growth in the increase in share of the textile exports from India is largely attributed to the growth in the apparel and clothing sector, as it accounts for almost 43% of the share alone. The apparel exports ranking has also improved from 8th position in 2012 to 6th position in 2013. Increasing labor cost in China, non-compliance of large number of factories in Bangladesh provide India a big opportunity in view of its relative advantage, risk appetite of Indian entrepreneurs and a small push from the government. It may help India to get more business as overseas because buyers are looking at India as safe and reliable option for the sourcing. But to capture the space in market left by China and Bangladesh, we have to be competitive in pricing. We should be meeting strict timelines, better quality deliverance by Indian exporters. Therefore, government agencies' active support is very crucial. Among the top 5 global clothing suppliers, except for Vietnam, India's apparel exports registered the highest growth of 21.8 in 2013. India's apparel exports account for 3.7% of global ready-made garment export. Business Bureau, DD News.
Well, on to some other business stories of the day. Well, good news for aviation industry and also for the common man. Low-cost airline SpiceJet on Tuesday announced a super sale offering travel at fares starting as low as 2,999 rupees. Consumers can book tickets between June 3rd to June 5th, 2014 for travel between July 6, 2014 and March 28, 2015. The tickets are available on first-come, first basis. Well, Apple has taken on Dropbox and WhatsApp with a series of software upgrades that mimic the rival application services. The firm unveiled iCloud Drive, an internet-based storage app. Apple also updated both its mobile and desktop operating systems. Well, the International Air Transport Association has said that the global airline industry's profit forecast for this year has been cut amidst fears over China's economic growth. The trade body predicts airlines will make $18 billion profit in 2014, lower than in the March forecast, that's $18.7 billion. It blamed the weak Chinese economy and a downgrade in world trade as the reason behind it. Well, India has made arrangements to evacuate all its nationals, mainly students, from violence-hit Ukrainian city of Luhansk to Kiev. Indian authorities have arranged 500 train tickets for today to evacuate the Indian nationals. Another 500 train tickets have been arranged for tomorrow to evacuate the remaining Indian students and nationals. Well, encouraged by the improvement in the forex markets, the Reserve Bank has raised the annual overseas investment ceiling for individuals to $1,25,000 from $75,000. The RBI had in August last year reduced the ceiling from $200,000 to $75,000 per person in a financial year in view of the worsening current account deficit and a volatile rupee. Well, good news for all your Facebook fans. State-run BSNL today launched a service wherein its mobile service customer can avail the access to Facebook without any internet or data connectivity. BSNL users will be charged for rupees, 10 rupees and 20 rupees for 3 days weekly and monthly plans. Well, telecom giant Bharti Airtel is expected to sell off over 15,000 towers in Africa for about $2 to $3 billion. This is expected to reduce debt on the company. The world's fourth largest operator is believed to have shortlisted 4 companies for the sale. Well, on to some global news. According to latest reports, the Eurozone unemployment rate fell slightly to 11.7% in April from 11.8% in March. The drop means an estimated 18.75 million were unemployed in April. The jobless rate was 5.2% in Germany, which is the largest economy in the Eurozone area, and in Greece, which is the weakest economy, the unemployment rate was 26.5%. And finally, on the other side, continuing with the Eurozone story, manufacturing growth in the Eurozone slowed to a 6-month low in May. According to a latest survey, the Purchasing Managers Index dipped to 52.2 in May, down from 53.4 in April. Figures above 50 donate expansion. It's the 11th consecutive month in which the sector has expanded. Well, heavy mineral mining needs multiple clearances and attracts 10% export duty. Beach sand mining, often confused with sand mining for construction, have high hopes from the new government at the centre.